This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Road trip comes to a close this afternoon. The Cardinals look to even this series. We're at Miller Park. Game 4, St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. Jim Hayes is here. That's Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. We jump right into it. The Kubota power stats and the power surge on this trip for Yadier Molina.
Yeah, he's had an amazing road trip. Healthy, back in the lineup, and been doing some damage on this road trip, as you see.
6 games, 8 for 20, 5 home runs. He's had a pair of multi-home run games, and he is driven in 7. He's in the lineup again this afternoon. He'll be catching Luke Weaver. Jolie Gesine will go for the Milwaukee Brewers. Luke looks to weave a split. Baseball coming up. Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Tailgating going on outside. We're just about ready for our first pitch. Game 4, the Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Baseball is coming up. On a beautiful day here in Wisconsin. Cardinal fans and Jim Edmonds fans everywhere. Then along with Ball Game, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is here as well. The roof is open as we'll take a look at Mike Matheny's lineup today. Matt Carpenter at the top, followed by Greg Garcia, and then Jose Martinez, Marcell Ozuna, Yadier Molina, Dexter Fowler, Harrison Bader, Colton Wong, and the pitcher batting ninth, that's Luke Weaver. Jhoulys Chacin, the starter for Milwaukee, a record of 6-2 this year against the Cardinals. He is 0-1, but everybody else, he's been very good. ERA under 3 against everyone else outside of the Cardinals, and there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal. Features a fastball, slider, change, and curve. Matt Carpenter, 17th career leadoff home run on Thursday night. Season total now at 13, and home runs have been a big part of the Cardinals offense on this road trip.
They have done a nice job with the long ball, but scuffling a little bit, driving the run home from third, and it's cost them a few games. So it's one of the things to keep an eye on, and look and see if they can move some runners around, play some small ball, and get those runs in from third base with less than 2 outs.
Round the Horn is presented by Dobbs, Ryan Braun, Christian Yelich, Hernan Perez. The Shaw, Arcia, VR, and Thames on the infield. And Erik Kratz is behind the plate. Great Counsell. And the Milwaukee Brewers playing very well as they lead the division currently. They've taken 2 out of 3 in this series. Cardinals trying to even it up, and you think about where this road trip was and where it might end up. You know, you split here with Milwaukee, you drop 2 of 3 in hard-fought series against Philly, and you try to regroup when you go back home against Cleveland.
Yeah, today's a big game. I think you got to win this game kind of give you a little bit of a breath of fresh air going home. Definitely can put a little bit of a positive spin on this road trip that they've struggled so much with, and kind of go home, like you said, regroup and start to play a little bit better baseball.
And the first pitch to Carpenter is taken for a ball, and we're underway. Again, Gesine, he does have a home run, couple of hits, 2 for 10 against this right-hander. A lot of first inning walks for Matt Carpenter. The idea of a leadoff man, or any batter, obviously, to get on base, but certainly you think about that with a leadoff man. He's drawn 12 first inning walks, and that's second most in baseball. The 2-0 pitch. .74 degrees in a beautiful day here in Milwaukee. And it's a leadoff walk. 4 straight pitches and 4 balls to start the game. The original lineup had Tommy Pham in it, batting second, but he's come down with the flu. And so now you have Greg Garcia batting second. He'll play shortstop today. And he's hitting .274, a couple of home runs, and he's driven in 10. A 4 for 9 road trip for Greg Garcia. Five straight balls to start the afternoon. The crowd already a bit restless.
Just a little bit patience right there at the plate. Think about Carpenter. You said a lot of walks in the first inning. Just because he's not afraid to take pitches, a lot of leadoff guys want to get out there and swing the bat and get the first at bat over with.
There's a strike. Greg not shy about going deep into counts. He may take another pitch. Cardinals have played 6 games on the road trip. They have scored 22 runs, 13 of them via the home run. Meanwhile, they've struck out 72 times, and that's an average of 12 a game. Six for his last 16. When he gets a chance to play, gives you that competitive at bat that we talk about. There's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the ability to play shortstop at this level will keep you in the big leagues.
Definitely will. He can play anywhere. He can play the outfield if needed, and we even saw him throw a perfect inning. Your backup pitcher.
56 miles an hour.
Whatever it takes to get the outs.
Even got a swing and a miss in there. He didn't have a lot of time to think about it because he was on the bases, and then he all of a sudden was told, hey, by the way, you're going in the game to pitch. Warmed up, started firing fastballs.
Or something similar to a fastball.
Yes. And the 1-2 is slapped foul and out of play. This is the beauty of baseball, and it's such a long season. You think about the other night, an ugly game number 1. Game 2, one of the toughest losses of the season. You grinded through the game yesterday. You win today, you split, and you walk away and you say, okay, regroup, Cleveland tomorrow. There's a base hit. Over to cut it off, Braun, and Carpenter heading from first to third. Garcia to second base with a double.
It's great base running by both of those guys, taking that extra base. This is like the beginning of what we're talking about, trying to drive these runs and trying not to live by the long ball. And right here is a great opportunity. See Garcia hitting the ball down into the corner. It really didn't look like much, but Carp seeing that Ryan Braun went all the way into that corner, and you got to try to take this extra base. Anytime you can get to third base with less than 2 outs, you got to take that chance. Make it so much easier on the guy coming up and driving a run.
Now Jose Martinez. Martinez was hitting .321 before he left for paternity leave. Missed the Cub Series in St. Louis. Rejoined the club in Philly. And he's 2 for 21 cents, so his average has dipped to .302. Here's a 1-0. Two balls, no strikes. Ozuna at the on-deck circle. He isn't throwing strikes, but you have your number 3 man up there. Do you turn him loose and see if you can't get some damage?
I do. I give him a chance to swing right here. But basically, why? You got to get this run home. You can't take a chance not getting this run in.
And he is swinging, but foul. Thought you hit upon something very important in the telecast yesterday. When you're ahead in the count, fastball counts, be ready for that pitch. And sometimes we haven't seen that on this trip.
Be ready and get out in front of that fastball and be ready to hit. Don't waste the fastball down the middle by fouling it off the other way.
The 3-1. Out of play. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Scored 8 out of 12 times. The league average under 50%.
That's amazing.
That really is.
That'll drive a manager and a hitting coach crazy.
I think it coincides with all the strikeouts. The fact that you don't have 2-strike approach, not putting a ball in play.
Yeah, those strikeouts will kill you, especially with guys in scoring position.
3-2 pitch now to Martinez. Inside corner, and he struck him out.
This is a perfect example of why you want to put the ball in play as early as you can with guys in scoring position. This ball clearly is not a strike, but you just never know. Can't take that chance putting the at-bat in the hands of the umpire.
Marcell Ozuna, cleanup man, runners at second and third, and now 1 out. Very good numbers against Gesine. 4 for 7, a double. He's driven in 3. Was 1 for 2 yesterday to raise his average to .280. Ozuna with a drive. Out to deep right center. It's at the wall, and it is caught. Carpenter tags up from third. He'll score, and that makes it a 1-0 lead. Outstanding play by Hernan Perez. Question for me to you would be, should Greg Garcia have been tagging up on that play?
And that's an interesting question, because right now, from our view, it looks like this ball is probably going to be a home run or an out. But you're taught 1 out in second base as the runner. You go halfway on that, because if the ball does drop, you have to score. So he did the right thing by the book and staying at second base.
What a road trip it has been for Yadier Molina. 5 home runs and now 6 career multi-home run games, which is tied with Ted Simmons for the most all-time by a Cardinals catcher. He's 6 for 19 with a home run against this right-hander. Two runs allowed in the first inning in his previous 16 starts, and the Cardinals strike first today. Garcia, the runner at second. And the 1-1 pitch to Molina. Line to short. Cardinals do pick up a run and an early lead. Luke Weaver to the mound when we come back. Louis Cardinals love to see him go deeper into a game. We haven't seen that from Weaver. Very good spring training. The season numbers thus far, he is 3 wins and 6 losses, a ERA of 4.69. And so Luke Weaver gets the call this afternoon for the St. Louis Cardinals. Monday pitch arsenal: the fastball, changeup, curve, and a cutter. There's a lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers: Eric Thames, Christian Yelich, and Ryan Braun. Then Travis Shaw, Hernan Perez, Jonathan Villar, Erik Kratz, Orlando Arcia, and Jhoulys Chacín. So Eric Thames leads it off. Big power hitter for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's got 9 home runs. He's driven in 20 and an average of 227. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Good fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jimmy, what are you looking for from Luke Weaver today?
Well, I'd like to see him pound the strike zone, be efficient, stay in the game as long as possible, but he's been a little erratic, so I like the way the strike zone, he's pounding the zone early, and like I said, just keeping himself in the game as long as possible. He's been a little erratic, and right there you can see the keys to the game for Weaver would just literally pitch his game, but stay inside that strike zone and see how many innings we can get out of him today.
A swing and a miss and a good fastball at 96 from Luke Weaver.
It's a good job right here climbing the ladder.
Christian Yelich with only 1 hit in the series. He's 1 for 10. Has scored, though, 3 runs. And the first pitch, a strike. First pitch strike, so important in the game of baseball. It's certainly with Luke Weaver. Sets everything else up. The Humphrey family is here from St. Louis and taking in Cardinals baseball, with Jackie leading the way. The 2-1 pitch to Yelich. Inside, 3-1. Big gap in right center for Yelich. And he hits it the other way. And with one swing, this game is tied. Christian Yelich with home run number 10. Arms extended, great opposite field power. That's a long home run the other way.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be a changeup right there. That was just a flat thrown too hard changeup. That ball was 87 miles an hour. I don't think there's enough difference right there to really get the hitter out in front. He stayed back on that and hit it a long way. You're right.
Now Ryan Braun with 8 home runs this year. First start in this series. Wednesday, he got an ejection on his thumb. Dealing with that injury for a number of years. Replaced Lorenzo Cain in the 4th inning yesterday. That was the first time we had seen him in the series. Out to right. Fowler back. Leaps. Can't come up with it. And it's off the wall. And Bader hustling to back it up and gets it back in quickly to hold him to a double. And Fowler is shook up and right. The Cardinals need him to play when you think about what they've got on their bench. Now Munoz certainly could play the outfield, but Pham dealing with the flu.
It's a tough play right there, and he can't run into the wall in a worse place in that outfield, right in that corner.
Here's Travis Shaw. And strike one. Give Bader credit too for hustling over. That easily could have turned into 3 bases for Ryan Braun. It's a ball and a strike on Shaw. Cardinals have held him in check for the most part this season. He's 10 for 46, no home runs, 3 RBIs. That's a .217 average against St. Louis. Two strikes. Jimmy, to me, this has been one of the issues for Luke Weaver. 2 strikes, the ability to put the hitter away.
I think that he's pitching up in the zone a lot, but when you do that too much, it doesn't really change the eye level of the hitter. When you got to be able to go down and up, and I think he's been getting under the ball just a little bit, and the ball's staying high in the zone. Typically, a pitcher wants to pitch down and elevate late, and he's having trouble getting the ball down, so everything is elevated. Makes it a little bit easier on the hitter just because he doesn't really have to change his eye angle and doesn't really have to swing anything down in the zone.
Now time called. See Garcia, the Cardinals shortstop, dancing out there trying to keep Braun close to the bag at second. 1-1 our score. And there's a strikeout. Second in the game for Weaver. 2 outs, and the batter is Perez.
Nice pitch here by Weaver. This is what we're talking about. So the difference, that ball all of a sudden now is surprising to the hitter because it's down. Travis Shaw probably expecting something up, and sometimes you get pitches, too many pitches up, that will surprise you down, and then usually down would be a slider from Weaver too. So nice pitch right there.
Hernan Perez is hitting .260, couple of hits in this series. He can play all over the diamond. Last 5 weeks getting a chance to play a lot, and he's hitting above 300. Braun, the runner at second base with 2 outs. Late with that swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Luke Weaver, 4 career starts at Miller Park. The Cardinals have won each of the last 3 here. He's pitched well inside this ballpark. Late call and a strike going Weaver's way. Time called. Cardinals defensively with Ozuna, Bader, Fowler in the outfield. Round the horn presented by Dobbs, Carpenter, Garcia, Wong, and Martinez on the infield. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. The 1-2 inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Soft liner over Martinez and a base hit into right field. Braun will score, and the Brewers have their first lead of the afternoon. It's 2-1.
Good piece of hitting right there by Perez, just trying to stay inside the ball. Not trying to do too much with 2 strikes.
Switch hitting Jonathan Villar. Hitless in this series, 0 for 8, and hitless in his last 13 at bats. Perez with 6 stolen bases at first. There's strike 1. Thursday's game started out 2-1 after 1 inning of play, and then all of a sudden it was all Milwaukee. Milwaukee had a total of 3 hits in game 2, but 2 home runs and a walk-off. Yesterday, 1-run game for the Cardinals. We'll see how it all unfolds today. One ball, 1 strike. Last 4 starts, Weaver's not gone more than 5 1/3. They'd love to see more length out of him. Deeper into games. He's given up 4 earned in each of his last 3 starts. When we saw him in spring training, Jimmy, he was one of the better pitchers for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's just had a tough time with the pitch count. I think when he pitches up, he loses a lot of pitches there. He's been throwing a little bit too many pitches each start, and it's been hurting him.
It's a ball and 2 strikes on Jonathan VR. 8 out of play. Weaver has not won a game since May 11th. He'd love to change that. It was 5 shutout innings, 9-5 win in San Diego. Did not go. 2-2, and neither did Perez, who looked like he was ready to steal. The 2-2 pitch by Weaver. Fouled back. Another 2-2 pitch to Jonathan VR. And a base hit into right. Perez on his way to third, and that turns out to be a double. A double. I mean, give VR credit. They're going to let him take second base.
Hustling all the way out of the box. Not even a chance to get anywhere near him at second base.
It's amazing what hustle can do. Runners at second and third, and it brings in Erik Kratz. Hasn't started since the 18th. That was against Pittsburgh. He's over his last 13. Now runners at second and third, and Mike Maddox, the quick visit. So 2 outs and 2 on. Strike 1. Four hits in the inning and a pair of strikeouts for Luke Weaver. Now time call. Pace of Weaver extremely slow here in the first inning.
He's up to 29 pitches too, Dan, as we talked about. Struggling to put guys away.
Strikeout percentage has really dipped from a year ago. It's at 19.9%. Last year, nearly 30. 0-1 pitch. Tied him up, 0-2. Here's an 0-2 pitch. hit out of play. You know, that double, I got to wonder if Fowler has shook up the play that he banged into the wall. That's a routine single.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he was moving very well after he hit the wall. So it'll be interesting to see what the outcome ends up being after he comes off the field.
Line to Fowler, and he's there to make the catch. You travel and check out Cardinals baseball. Download the app today. 2-1 our score. Top of the second. Fowler, Bader, and Wong for St. Louis. Fowler hitting .163 on the year. Showing bunt and looks at a ball. The one thing he has been doing a little bit better lately is going deeper into counts, which maybe tells you that he's seeing the ball slightly better. The Cardinals are trying any which way to get him straightened out.
And especially tough on him as far as you don't play every day now. It's even tougher to straighten yourself out.
3 balls, no strikes. Three and 1. And he draws a walk. Brings in Harrison Bader. Season high for Gesine in walks is 4, and he's already had 2 in 2 innings. 32nd start for Bader this year. When he starts, hitting .263. On the year, .243. Twelve strikes, 13 balls thus far for the Brewers right-hander. 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
See Bader's frustration, rightfully so. Fastball away off the plate for a strike, and then a curveball around the plate for a strike.
And the 0-2 pitch. Bader, a base hit into left field.
Thank you very much. Right there, a little fastball that doesn't get in. Take that 0-2 hit anytime.
Second time that Wong has made a start in this series. Went 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts Friday night. He's been playing, though, exceptional defense for the Cardinals. 8th place hitter than the pitcher spot. And Wong sends it out to center. Yelich going back and makes the catch. Fowler tags up from second to third. Now Luke Weaver hitting 174. He does have 4 sacrifices on the year. In his career, a .218 hitter. He's driven in 2 in his career. Corners are in as they hold it first. Third baseman Shaw in. That's inside. That catch by Yelich with the speed of Bader makes you wonder, could he have tagged from first to second?
Well, with his speed, for sure. And that's just something that you either do or you don't. It's not something you can really teach. You got to have that instinct. I mean, I don't think that that's a play that you necessarily have to make, but definitely is a weapon if you get a good read on it.
And the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. They have Kratz behind the plate. Pena, a good catch and throw defensive player for the Brewers. Kratz is the backup. Let's see if they just want to start Bader here. Bunted in the air, and great effort by Kratz. Comes up just short. And it's 1 ball to 2 strikes.
Got to be so hard as a catcher to get up out of your stance and actually get going in the direction that your mind is asking. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, your body's doing one thing, your mind's doing another. Pop up out of that stance and try to get into a full sprint within a step has got to be impossible.
A check on Bader. Kratz delivering the defensive signs. Even the home plate umpire, crew chief Mike Winters, says let's go. And I don't blame him. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Strikeout of Weaver. Second of the day for Gesine. Matt Carpenter 2 for 9 in the series with a home run and 4 walks. So again, it's a situation with a man at third and only 1 out. Let's see if the Cardinals can't get that big 2-out hit. Carpenter walked on 4 pitches and scored first time up.
You got to believe you just turn Bader loose. You got to try and make something happen. I'll take that chance right now. Let him run if he gets a jump. Put it in his hands. Hopefully something good will happen. He's got to make a perfect throw, tag, everything to make the play. And if anything goes wrong, Fowler scores.
Strike 1 on Carpenter.
He looks slow as can be going to the plate. Take that chance.
What do you look for? The time to the plate, ideally, from when he starts to when the catcher gets it in his mitt.
I think with Bader running any time above basically 1, 2.5, 1, 3. Should be plenty of time for him to get down there.
0-1 pitch. 0-2. They measure the sprint speed of players. They can do that with StatCast, and Bader is the 4th fastest in baseball. So certainly if you want to get somebody in motion activity, he would be a candidate to do that.
I just feel like you're having trouble scoring runs. You got 2 outs.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just got to take some chances.
And the 0-2 pitch now to Carpenter. There goes Bader. And the pitch is a called 3rd strike. He's Jimmy.
Dan, Tommy Pham has been sick the last few days. We're talking coughing, congestion, headache. Tommy told me today he got dizzy in the indoor batting cage, so Tommy was a late scratch from today's starting lineup. Mike Matheny told me he was thinking about giving Tommy a day off anyway. Pham in an 0 for 15 slump, 0 for 4 yesterday with 4 Ks. Tommy told me what he's going through is all about his mechanics and has nothing to do with his vision. Dan, Tommy told me he's having trouble getting himself into his normal hitting position. He's been working to try to correct it.
He's had a tough go of it here on this road trip, undoubtedly.
You know, just thinking about it with Bader and not running there with Carpenter. The one thing you do by not running is keep the hole open on the right side. Something to think about too. There's 2 strikes now on the batter. Garcia, and he lines it out to deep right. The catch made by Fowler. Nice play.
It's a long way to go for Dexter. Makes a nice play right here. Ball's hitting the gap, hit hard. That was another changeup. So I think his changeup is just a little too hard the last couple of games. I think you want a bigger discrepancy between the fastball and the changeup. I think not really slow enough to get the hitters way out in front. Used to hear a lot of pitching coaches and guys talk about when I played about how they want that 8 to 10 mile an hour window for a changeup or a breaking ball. And if he's not throwing any harder than 92, his changeup's only 6 or 7 miles an hour slower, 6, sometimes even 5. I just think that sometimes it's a little too hard.
3-0 on the pitcher, Gesine. Think about fastball command too to get you later in a game. Something that's very important with Luke Weaver. And he walked the pitcher. His first walk of the day. A strike. Back to the top of the lineup, and Erik Kratz. 2 hits against Weaver this season for Thames, and both have been home runs. The 2-1 pitch and a strike. 2-2. Cardinals have had back-to-back days where they've gotten very good starts. Jack Flaherty took a no-hitter into the 7th. Miles Michaelis yesterday. Gesine, the runner at first base, and the 3-2 by Weaver. Popped up. Shift was on, so who wants it? It'll be Molina with the catch. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Christian Yelich with a solo home run to the opposite field first time. His great-grandfather actually played in the NFL in the 1940s. He's a Hall of Famer. The pitcher running and a left-handed batter. Martinez can play off the bag and behind the runner. She's seen about Oh, I'd say a 3-4 step lead off the bag at first. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's fouled back. Christian Yelich, part of Miami a year ago, and that awesome trio that they had with Ozuna, Stanton, and Yelich. Out of California, he's won a Gold Glove, a Silver Slugger, signed through 2021. One ball and 2 strikes, 2-2. Helmet came off at 2-2. Two pitch out of play. Up to 52 pitches, 20 of those in the home half of the second. Strikeout number 3 for Luke Weaver. No damage done. And we move to the third. 2-1 our score. By the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Tomorrow the World Cup continues on Fox and FS1. Full slate of matches. All kicks off at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Stream it all live on the Fox Sports Go app. Greg Garcia, Jose Martinez, and Marcell Ozuna.
Danny, I made it through an inning and a half before I lost track of my scorecard.
Well, I've got all the info right here. Dive on in. The pitch taken inside.
Gesine is trying to figure out where the strike zone is.
Three and one. Hit the other way and a foul ball. Garcia double down the left field line first time up. Cardinals had runners at second and third, nobody out. They did pick up one run. And that slapped the other way, and a diving catch by Ryan Braun to Rob Garcia.
Welcome back to the lineup, Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Nice play right there. Ball almost shot out of his glove.
It's one thing I noticed when you would make those diving attempts, if you could, always with two hands. There's a grounder to Travis Shaw.
It's a lot of wear and tear on your body to do all that and then the ball come flying out of your glove. So I just want to make sure that that didn't happen to me. It wasn't like I was trying to put and make that play with two hands, but I felt as soon as I hit the ground, I would try to get my other hand around the glove, keep the ball from popping out.
That was the idea. I mean, it would pop out just like that. Almost happened with Braun, and you seem to have that down to a science. There's Marcell Ozuna. Sent one to the wall. Picked up an RBI back in the first, his 42nd of the year. Ozuna's hit safely in 17 of 21 games this month. 329 the average. Inside. Also has picked up an RBI in 12 of the 21 games. The 2-0. I think Marcell's going to try to hit this out of the ballpark, and I mean out of it. Didn't get a pitch to hit, but he'll take the walk. He was not really happy on the pitch that made it 3-0. The second consecutive pitch that was way inside.
Yeah, I don't know if he was thinking he was trying to throw at him or he's just getting tired of getting pitched in, but yeah, I thought he was going to try and unload 3-0.
Here's Yadier Molina. To me, Yadi is the example of what you were talking about yesterday. Hitters count, he'll take that chance and load up, do damage. But with two strikes, he's got the two-strike approach to put the ball in play.
Tries to stay inside the ball with two strikes. Knows the value of putting the ball in play, especially with runners on. You just never know. Put the ball in play and good things happen. And you're right, when he gets ahead in the count, he's going to try and let it go once in a while. And that's, especially on this road trip, he's been able to do that really well.
One and one. Moving up many charts in Cardinals history at most RBI. Went past the great Lou Brock. Cardinals Hall of Famer Ray Langford is next. Foul back. Let's see his approach here with two strikes. And I'm not saying it's every time. but the approach is put the ball in play.
He does such a good job of staying inside the ball, and he's able to hit the ball the other way. It makes it just look that much easier for him than most.
Runner goes, and a strikeout of Molina. That's 4 today for Gesine. 2-1 our score. Is mystery here bobblehead, and that's courtesy of AT&T, and tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Our buddy on the radio side, Chris Raby, does an outstanding job at KMOX Radio and hosts the pre and post game shows for St. Louis Cardinals baseball as a big event Friday night at the ballpark at the Ballpark Village Budweiser Brew House. And for $100, it's all you can eat and drink, and the money goes to research to fight pediatric brain tumors. Good friend of his had a youngster that passed away, and Chris doing a great job with that and trying to raise awareness and a lot of money. So if you're at the ballpark or at Ballpark Village on Friday, stop by. A lot of memorabilia, Blues, Cardinals tickets, and all going to a great cause. Well done by Chris Raby. 0-2 the count on Ryan Braun. High fly ball, right center. Bader with the catch. So once again, the shadows becoming a factor, at least at the plate. But you've talked about it being more important maybe with the backdrop.
Yeah, I think right now it's okay. Sometimes it's tough to play defense with the shadow like that. The ball kind of comes out of the pitcher's hand and disappears when you're playing defense. But right now, I don't think it's too much worry for the hitter.
Strike to Travis Shaw, struck out looking back in the first inning.
Think about the way the shadow is right now, too. Ball comes out of the pitcher's hand, you're tracking it. By the time it gets into that shadow, you're already starting your swing, so you don't really lose it for too much time. You've already committed and know where it's going to end up by the time it gets there. Looked like that hurt a little bit. I don't know if that's his wrist or.
That's what he's been battling too, a wrist situation. Shaw. It's happened a couple of times for him, dealing with that this season. That's going to be it. They're going to take him out. So 0-2 the count, and Shaw lifted in the game. It's Brad Miller made a start at second base yesterday. Got to be ready. Got to have the cleats on. Ready to roll.
You get caught by surprise.
Yep.
I've sat in there a few times with some tennis shoes on and got a little scare.
I bet. If you're wondering if he would strike out, Travis Shaw would be, unfortunately for him now, credited with a strikeout.
Pretty exciting at bat for him right there.
Get your bat. Okay,
well, welcome
I'm ready.
to the game.
Wow. Sit down. That's it. So 2 outs, and the batter is Perez. I guess all you can do is laugh a little bit.
As long as you don't get hurt.
That's right. Perez had a 2-out RBI single to right field back in the first inning. 15th run that he's driven in this year. And the 0-2. Maybe, just maybe, Weaver's starting to get locked in. He can retire Perez. That would be 5 in a row. Here's an 0-2. Only 10 pitches thus far in the inning for Luke Weaver. And he picks up back-to-back strikeouts, and that's 5 today. We head to the 4th, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee. coming up at Belle Reve. Right around the corner, August 6th through the 12th at beautiful Belle Reve. They've done a remarkable job showcasing that wonderful club to the rest of the golf world. All eyes will be on Belle Reve in St. Louis. Only way to get a ticket, PGAchampionship.com. PGAchampionship.com. Talking with Barry Deach the other day, the director of that outstanding event, and he said that there'll be 500 million people, 500 million, tuning in to watch the PGA Championship. Very important for St. Louis. A strike to Dexter Fowler. Walk back in the second. That slap the other way, and a fair ball for Fowler. And a double for Dexter, on base for the second time. A walk and now a double.
Dexter definitely needed this one. Good job of just staying with the breaking ball. Just serving it down there into left field.
Harrison Bader singled on an 0-2 pitch to left field back in the second inning. So we reset the defense with Thames in left, Braun in right. Perez takes over at third, Miller at first. Leadoff double by Fowler. The 2-0 pitch now to Bader. 2-1. Fastball low. Get the idea it's going to be a battle of the bullpens today. Neither starter has been overly efficient. Pitch count's getting high. And the 3-1 pitch. And that's a walk. The fourth of the game for Gesine.
It's an interesting at bat from my angle. A lot of breaking balls to Harrison Bader with Colton Wong on deck, the lefty. Not sure if he just didn't want to pitch to him or book on Bader is just keep pounding the breaking ball at him.
Runners at first and second. Wong line to center first time up. Way outside, 2-0. And you wonder if they're going to start at least thinking about or entertaining the idea of getting somebody up in their pen.
Got too soon. Doesn't look like he has very much command of his pitches right now, and if you're trying to win this game, you just can't let the Cardinals score runs with walks.
And the 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Braun with a fly ball into right. Braun over to make the catch. Fowler tagging on his way to third and save. And also advancing Bader from first to second. Now you love to see that from Dexter Fowler. That's a shallow fly ball in right. Terrific base running on both ends. Not going to challenge, so Fowler in there safely. You see Fowler with his eyes trying to pick up Oquendo of where to slide.
How do you ask for a challenge when you miss the tag? Looked like Perez just didn't even tag him the first time through.
Love that base running from Dexter.
Ryan throws the ball pretty well too. I didn't think he had a chance to get there.
There's a strike on Luke Weaver.
Take a look at Dexter's eyes right here. He's looking to see where Oquendo's at. He's trying to read the throw.
The corners are in. Strike 2 on Weaver. He struck out looking back in the second inning when he had runners at first and third and only one out. Strikeouts for Gesine. Cardinals need a 2-out hit from Carpenter. Carpenter has walked and scored and struck out looking with runners at first and third back in the second. The shift on. 3 on the right side of the infield. Gesine going back to a windup here. Cardinals have stranded 4 in the first 3 innings. His 13 home runs, 12 have been solo shots. He'd love to change that here. And the 1-1 is a base hit into left center. 2 runs will score, and Carpenter delivers with 2 outs to put St. Louis back on top. It's now a 3-2 game. Go back to the job by Fowler, tagging up from second to third to set this all up.
Nice job by Carp. Good piece of hitting, and just missed location right there by Gesine. And you're right, that base running move right there just got them 2 free runs.
Here's Greg Garcia, 1 for 2 on the day, as he looks at a ball as he was stepping out. He was robbed by Ryan Braun back in the third with a diving catch. For whatever reason, Gesine has had his own personal issues against the Cardinals. He has struggled against St. Louis. It's now 70 pitches on the day. 0-6 in 7 starts. And now trailing 3-2 in this game. Greg Garcia's had a good road trip, 5 for 10. Does a good job.
He does do a good job.
The 2 runs batted in. Carpenter now up to 33 on the year. Leadoff man have been on in 3 of the 4 innings against Gesine, so primarily working out of the stretch the entire day. Be curious to get his honest thoughts, what he believes the strike zone has been like today.
Umpire Mike Winters isn't really helping him a whole lot.
Nope. Three and 1 the count on Garcia. That's now 5 walks. It's a season high. Nobody up and throwing yet for Milwaukee in their bullpen. This would be a time for Martinez to bust out.
Got that right.
He struck out and grounded out 0 for 2 today.
A lot of people walking around with food, Danny. Looks really good.
Getting hungry, huh?
Yep.
2 outs and 2 on, and a strike to Jose Martinez. Those numbers in these spots, really good. But again, that's a guy that doesn't strike out a lot. Good plate coverage. Puts the ball in play more times than not. Pulls it foul.
Booing the ball boy. Gotta make the play.
Left on an 0-2 pitch, a bomb off the bat of Martinez. Whoa! 3-run homer. Wow.
That'll get some excitement in the dugout, huh? Tell you what, you know, talking about him struggling a little bit. He's been pulling off just a tiny bit, and right there when the catcher set up on the inner half of the plate, I thought he's doing him a favor. And the favor he did. Ball was crushed. Just knocked somebody's lunch out of their hand.
Little flare into shallow right, and that ball is down. Ozuna on his way to second base. After the diving tip by Braun, and that'll be a double for Marcell Ozuna. Cardinals have opened up a 6-2 lead. Still no activity for the Brewers in their pen, and here's Yadier Molina, the 9th man to come to the dish for the Cardinals here in the top of the 4th. This will be the 28th pitch of the inning. Molina with his 2 home runs yesterday up to 11. And that's despite the fact that he missed 26 games. And a nice play down at third by Perez. Big inning for the Cardinals. They pick up 5 runs, 3 of them on one swing of the bat, thanks to Jose Martinez. Flaherty was 7, and Michaelis yesterday 6 2/3. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, Michaelis pitched very well yesterday as he improved to 8-2 on the season with a 2.69 ERA. Still something didn't quite look the same. That was because Miles shaved his mustache, which many described as glorious. Miles said of the mustache, it didn't have the magic I had hoped for, but fear not, facial hair aficionados. Michaelis also told me this: there's got to be a beard, mustache, or some type of formation up there in the future. Right now, clean shaven is 1-0. Maybe I'll ride that out and see how it goes. But Dan, you don't mess with a streak, so clean shaven for the time being.
Absolutely. Players are creatures of habit, superstitious here in the game of baseball, no doubt.
Players are just creatures.
Who had the most superstitions of anybody you played with?
I think the thing about the superstitions nowadays is everyone knows about them, so they all keep them to themselves.
So they don't get, chided too much
exactly.
for it.
One of the guys in the bullpen had a lot of rituals, and all the way down to when they went to the bathroom.
I've heard that
out there. Not to mention any names, Randy Flores, but it was a little unusual.
And he was left-handed, so it's definitely unusual. How much did they scream at you when you're in center and they're out there in the bullpen?
Sometimes, but not too often. I think we had a pretty subdued group as far as during the game. They were a little wacky after and before and all of the above, but they kind of left me alone out there.
It's now 3 strikeouts in a row and 6 total for Weaver. And 6 in a row that he sent down. Here's Erik Kratz. Kratz was acquired from the New York Yankees back on May 25th. He's appeared in 10 games and 9 starts. Talk about the role of a pinch hitter being tough in this game, the role of the backup catcher. Because you won't be the pinch hitter very often because they've got to keep you as a safety net, so you don't see a lot of playing time. Then all of a sudden you're thrust into a Sunday afternoon. And that's now 4 strikeouts in a row, 7 total for Weaver. It's the kind of approach you want to see after been given this lead.
Well, that's the kind of stuff you want to see him have. You want to be able to get the ball down there. As much as he throws the ball up in the zone, you gotta believe you want to see him get the ball down in the zone too. It's a lot of swing and miss, a lot of foul balls, a lot of contact early in the count. That's one of the ways that he can keep himself in the game longer. I think if he'd just keep the ball down a little bit more, you would see some ground balls.
What do you think about incorporating more of a 2-seamer?
I just think that his arm angle is he gets underneath the ball a little bit, which his ball will not go down. And so that's why he pitches up, and that's why he's so effective with it, getting up in the zone too, because he kind of can shoot it up into the top of the zone. That pitch right there, the ball really jumps on the hitters.
Talked about Garcia and that front leg, and it's going to be tough for him to hit like that. May see diminished playing time as Brad Miller's been called up, and he struggles at the plate right now at an even 200. Reaching for it, and Weaver will step and throw in a 1-2-3 inning. 11 pitches and 8 in a row for Luke Weaver. double. And this one of the bigger plays of the game. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. Fly ball into shallow right. And Fowler tagging up. Bader did as well from first to second. And Carpenter with 2 outs, the base hit. Then a capper, Jose Martinez, and a 3-run homer. Watch your lunch. Dexter also a fine play in right center, running down a ball. Made a good catch. One ball, 1 strike. Slap the other way, and a diving attempt. Yelich comes up short. It's another double for Fowler, and all of a sudden, this might be something that gets him going. Haven't seen that a lot. A lot of smiles from Dexter Fowler. 2 doubles and a walk.
Good job of driving this ball. I feel like he's using his legs a little bit better today, getting himself down in the zone with his legs, which is allowing his bat to get underneath the ball and driving the ball. A lot of his outs lately have been on the ground and topping the ball. A nice little conversation with him yesterday about that.
Did he agree?
Yeah, and he also said it was tough. You know, he was having trouble getting a rhythm. Obviously not playing well and then not playing, so it's hard to search for it in the cage.
And Bader hits it the other way. No balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 5th, 6-2 St. Louis. Bader rips it out to left for a base hit. Fowler being waved in. Throw cut off, relay to the plate, no throw. 7-2 Cardinals. Harrison Bader on base for the 3rd time. 2 singles and a walk.
Hanging breaking ball right over the plate. Good job by Bader staying right there, staying back.
And a pitch low to Colton Wong, left-hander. Dan Jennings throwing in the bullpen now for Milwaukee. Colton is 0 for 2, fly to center, fly to right. And that's a base hit into right field. Bader, first to 3rd, love it. Diving in. And safe at 3rd base.
Contagious. You see one guy hustle, you see a guy do something like that, and now everyone wants in on the play. Good job by Bader. That's what it's all about. This is how you play winning baseball.
Young man can fly.
And I wish I had some of that.
Man, is he fast.
It's fun to watch.
So here's Weaver again with a runner at 3rd. Less than 2 outs.
Tell you what, the thing about Bader too, he's a big kid. He's going to learn how to hit. He's going to hit some home runs to go along with that speed.
And Weaver gets the bunt down. Bader will score, and Weaver brings in a run. First and third, the speed of Bader. And once he saw that Gesine, his back was turned to home plate, then he took off and he scored.
It's kind of what I was hoping for out of his last at bat. Just put the ball on the ground and see if something good can happen. And an opportunity with guys on base to do that. See what happens when you put the ball in play. Just, you never know. The guys out there on the field that can run.
Third career RBI for Luke Weaver. 8-2 our score. Cardinals a 9-hit attack, and that knocks out Gesine. His day is through. We'll tell you about the changes. A double switch for the Brewers. 8-2 our score. Double switch. Garcia out of the game. Dan Jennings, a lefty that was picked up right in the beginning of the season for Milwaukee in our Chevy called to the pen. This will be his 36th appearance. Last pitched Thursday. 1 inning, 3 hits. Last 11 outings, though, ERA is near 7. Big happy 50th birthday to Tammy McGrail. Happy 50th birthday, Tammy McGrail. Never misses a game on Fox Sports Midwest. Glad that you're with us. Against Jennings, Carpenter 3 for 6 with a home run. And there's a strike on Carpenter. Walked and scored back in the first. Was called out on strikes in the second. And a key hit in this game, a 2-out single that brought in 2 back in the fourth. And he came around to score on the 3-run homer by Jose Martinez. One ball, 1 strike. Combined in May and June, 10 of the 13 home runs hit by Matt. Curveball that's hit out of play. Milwaukee pitching in the month of June. ERA about 3.5. Opponents came in hitting .221, but Gesine roughed up today.
It makes it a little easier on the offense when he was pitching behind most of the day. A lot of walks. Couldn't find the strike zone. Cardinals took advantage of it.
One ball, 2 strikes. Ball gets away, and advancing on the play, Colton Wong to third.
That was a great read by Colton right there. He was gone before the ball even got out of the catcher's area. So quickly he goes.
Cardinals, if they pick up a win today, they avoid dropping their 4th consecutive series. They'd earn a split. Still a long ways to go. Cleveland in town tomorrow. John Gant officially getting that start. Infield is drawn in. And the 2-2 pitch. Strikeout of Carpenter. June 26th, Cancer Awareness Night, presented by Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Purchase a special theme ticket, receive a Cardinals cap with your choice of cancer awareness colors. Tickets now at cardinals.com/theme.
Take a look here and see what the hitters are seeing. Shadow's starting to play a little bit of games with the hitters. We'll see how the contrast is kind of what I'm talking about, the contrast in the background being a lot lighter than the front. Makes it just enough to where you don't pick up the seams, and basically by the way the seams are spinning is how you're going to see, or how you're going to be able to tell which way that ball is going to move. If you stop picking up the seams, you're going to have trouble. Definitely trouble hitting.
2-1. Garcia on base with a walk and a double. Flips a pretty good little curveball up there, doesn't he?
Just enough.
The 2-2. High chopper to first, handled by Miller. Cardinals tack on 2 more, and we're midway through 5. Dexter Fowler, Harrison Bader making things happen in the bottom of the lineup. 8-2 our score. 2 more here at the top of the 5th. We now move to the bottom half. Luke Weaver, his line this far. Jose Martinez, a 3-run homer. Gesine, only 4 1/3, 9 hits. And Yelich, 1 for 2 with a solo homer. Part of the double switch was Sogard. He took over at shortstop. Now in the 9th position of their lineup. And we'll see Thames and Yelich. Luke Weaver is set down 8 in a row. That's pulled foul. Well, John Gant starting tomorrow, and he threw a couple of innings the other night, which would have been a bullpen, if he was a starter, a bullpen day for him. Going deep in the game could be critical for the Cardinals even for tomorrow. Save some of the arms out in that bullpen. Then you had Flaherty and Michaelis give you extended starts. That was good to see. Jack Flaherty, after his start the next day, was one of the first in the clubhouse. And you know, a guy like that, 13 strikeouts, near no hitter. Next day, he's one of the first guys there looking at video, working out, putting in the work.
There's really no secret to success. It's really legitimately hard work and dedication. Doesn't matter how well you do the night before. You got to be consistent. Keep going out there and doing what got you here. And don't stop because you get here.
Say it's easy to get to the big leagues, hard to stay.
Not really easy, but
I would agree.
Harder to stay.
Yes. Swing and a miss. Eight strikeouts for Luke Weaver. 9 in a row. Eric Thames, he's made 19 starts at first, 4 in left, 1 game in right. He's bounced around. Maybe most importantly, by looking at the day of Jack Flaherty after his start, was sitting down and visiting with the cat. Very important to do. You have a big game. First thing you do is you go to the cat. Yep.
Never know, you might end up on somebody's podcast.
You've had the pleasure to visit with Jimmy. It's good karma. Did you like Jim when you were playing?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Thought he's a nuisance or what?
He's always in the locker room. They should have locked him out a long time ago.
The 2-2.
He's a hard-working guy, I'll tell you that much.
Yes,
I came to the stadium the other day, and there's no one underneath the stadium, and he is literally like walking at a brisk pace away from the clubhouse and away from the elevator that goes up to the booth. I said, "Where are you going?" He says, "One of my guys is in the cage, and I need to talk to him." I said, "You're not allowed to go in there." He's like, "I got to get the job done." He just kept on going.
Kept on going. Jimmy does a phenomenal job. I mean that sincerely. You bailed him out when you were playing.
Say, Jim,
Say, Jim.
the thing is, and it's exactly what you were talking about, getting into regional cable journalism is the easy part. Staying is the tough part. That's why when you walk, you best walk briskly.
Briskly.
Told him you're a good guy.
He was walking so fast that his tie was starting to go around the backside of his neck.
Jimmy, you bailed out, ball game bailed out the cat when you were playing.
Well, let me tell you what Jim Edmonds did to me one time, all right? Since we have a second here. So Taguchi didn't speak the language very well, right? And Jim kept telling me that he could communicate with So. So post-game interview, So had a home run and a double or something like that, and I was like, now's the time. And So looked at me panicked, you know, like, I don't speak English. I go, it's okay, Edmonds is going to help me. He's been pushing me to get you on the post-game. And so I'm standing there with So, and I go, Jim, it's time. And he ran by me. He just left me hanging.
You didn't help him ball game.
I was trying to get So into the moment, force him to speak some English, and he just didn't want to do it.
You know what there was, Jim? There was a lot of head nodding and awkward looks at each other. Thank you.
Here's Ryan Braun with 2 outs and a runner at first.
Renteria was good at that one too. Pretend like he didn't speak English.
He spoke just about perfect English. Might have been a little choppy, but he understood everything.
Yeah.
Here's Ryan Braun. Doubled off the wall and right, fly to center. The fly ball into right center, backing up Bader near the wall, and with the catch. Jose Martinez coming up when we come back. Wow. Things have gone south in a series for Chicago at Cincinnati, and things on an uptick for St. Louis. BJC difference maker today. On an 0-2 pitch, a home run.
And spoiled someone's lunch at the same time.
This time he goes to right, and the catch is made.
A little bit more fun when you win, right?
You bet. There's Ozuna, sac fly, RBI back in the first. He walked in the third, and a double in the fourth. Hit down the right field line, and that's a base hit for Marcell Ozuna. Garcia drive to success. Everything now dropping for the Cardinals. This June, 329, the average for Ozuna. 7 homers. He's driven in 18. The Kia drive to success, and here's Yadier Molina.
It's a beautiful thing right there. Get that hit drop. Things are going your way. Going your way.
Yep. On base for the 3rd time. Molina twice is lined out, and he is struck out. I wonder how much thought the Cardinals are giving right now to Dakota Hudson potentially getting called up. Another great start last night. His ERA is right around 2, and he has caught fire down in the minor leagues. And one thing he can do, Jimmy, into a play, he gets a lot of ground balls and kind of a ground ball machine. So certainly that would play as a reliever as well if he needed him to.
Eat up some innings in a hurry when you can stay in the game and get a lot of ground balls.
He's now 10-2 after last night. 2.04 ERA. Ozuna, your runner at first base. And the 1-2. Strikeout of Molina. Beat the summer heat on Sunday, July 1st. That day, 30,000 fans 16 and older take home the adult bucket hat courtesy of Coke. And kids 15 and younger entering with a ticket receive a bucket hat courtesy of Powerade. It's all coming up July 1st. First time that Fowler has had a multi-hit game in which he's gone for extra bases since September of last year. That's the first of 2 doubles for Dexter Fowler. Really a great catch by Yelich. This is where he's really struggled. 083 from this side of the plate. Again, I go back to when he tagged up as being a big play in this game, going from second to third. Then Bader went from first to second, and Carpenter came out with 2 outs and brought them both in. And there was a walk to Garcia. Martinez 3-run homer, all part of a 5-run 4th inning for St. Louis.
You're right, though. That tag play is a big play in this game. So you just talk about it so much about the speed. It changes the complexion of the game as far as just being able to create other opportunities. This game is so hard to play. And just relying on getting hits, getting the big base hit when you need it. Just defense and running the bases is all effort.
And a grounder hit to short. Force play at second base. We're midway through 6 and an 8-2 St. Louis lead.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Line on Luke Weaver. 5 innings, 4 hits, couple of runs, both earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. And a pitch that's taken up by Brad Miller. We're in the bottom of the 6th. This was the spot occupied by Travis Shaw. He went out. Had discomfort in his wrist. So Miller here, then Perez and VR. Cardinals up behind a 10-hit attack. Only 4 hits allowed by Weaver. Last base hit was in the first inning. There's a swing and a miss. 95 outer portion of the plate. Strikeout number 9.
So that pitch is so effective today because he's been able to throw that changeup down in the zone and fastballs down in the zone early in the count. And then that's almost like a surprise fastball. That's something that when he was in Philly last week he was struggling with, is everything was up. Everything was flat. So you're not really changing the eye angle or eye height of the hitters. A little bit easier to make contact when you're always swinging at the same spot.
Career high in strikeouts, if you're wondering, is 10. There's a fly ball to Dexter Fowler. His season high in strikeouts is 9, which he has matched today. Think about that first inning. Home run, a couple of doubles, a single.
A couple of singles too, right?
About 2 doubles, a single, and a home run.
So he had 32 pitches in the first inning, 21 pitches in the second inning. Then back-to-back 11-pitch innings. And then a 15-pitch inning. So definitely has gotten a better feel for what he's doing than after the second inning.
Cardinals have a right-hander getting loose in the pen. A strike to Jonathan VR. Weaver's spot is due up third. That's Mike Myers throwing. May 22nd against Kansas City. Last time that Weaver completed 6 innings. So 1 out away from doing that.
And I think the pitch right there, that curveball's been a big pitch for him today. I think that has helped his mechanics, helped him stay back, and the ball hasn't been really, he hasn't been getting under the ball as much today.
2 balls and a strike.
Would be nice if you could get a called strike every now and then too.
Yep. Pitch number 101. That matches his season high pitches in a game.
I was kind of hoping we'd get a foul ball here today.
Still got a shot at it. We've had a couple of close ones.
We haven't had one. I haven't had one all year.
This is the place you're going to get him. It comes from a left-handed batter. Changeup has gotten to be effective here today too.
He's getting on top of it a little bit better today. And like I said, ball going down. It's been a little bit tougher on the hitters. I feel like he got under the ball a lot in Philadelphia. Like I said earlier, everything was up, and even the changeup was up in the zone.
The 2-2. Hit up the middle slowly. Garcia to his left, and safe. Martinez off the bag.
Nice play by Greg Garcia right there. Couldn't really tell if the throw pulled him off the bag or he just kind of lost his balance at first base. Not really sure what happened there. It's a weird looking play.
And it extends the inning to Kratz, who's played with Pittsburgh, Philly, Toronto, Kansas City, Houston, and the Yankees. And a base hit into left. Greg Garcia charged with the error on that play, and that'll be his third of the season. This is where you get concerned, because one swing and all of a sudden Milwaukee get pulled to within 3. You hate to have that happen, because Weaver should be out of the inning. And Mike Matheny is going to go to his pen right here. Mike Myers, the Chevy called to the pen, 20th appearance this year. Myers, a good road trip. He has struck out 6 of the 12 batters he's faced. A couple of appearances that he's had on the trip. Aguilar became the first player in the expansion era, 1961, to break up a no-hit bid of 5 or more innings with a home run, then hit a walk-off homer in the same game. So a little history the other night.
There's a stat for everything.
Jesus Aguilar. Strike 1. Myers really was letting it loose the other day in Philly, throwing hard. Aguilar leads the National League in homers since April 19th, 16 of them. 0-2 pitch. Taken low.
It's a good pitch right there, 0-2. Just speed him up a little bit, get him to chase, especially with this shadow.
Got him. Good work by Myers. Comes in, strikes out Aguilar, and keeps it an 8-2 St. Louis lead as we head to the 7th here at Miller Park. And the Cardinals trying to earn a split. Of the division until the 13th of July. Cincinnati, by the way, with a win today, and they sweep the Chicago Cubs. 3 with Cleveland starting tomorrow at Busch Stadium. And that's a look at your Budweiser What's on Tap. Jacob Barnes, 8-2 our score as we play here in the top of the 7th. Barnes pitched a perfect 7th on Friday night with a couple of strikeouts. He's unscored upon in 23 of his 27 appearances. It's the Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Here's Bader on base 3 times. There's a strike, 1-1. Look at Fowler and Bader. They've been on base 6 of their 7 plate appearances. They've scored 4 runs, that combination. Colton Wong on deck, and then Myers spot. The 1-2 strikeout of Harrison Bader. Peanuts Night returns to Busch Stadium Wednesday, June 27. Purchase of a special themed ticket. Fans receive an exclusive Cardinals-themed Snoopy bobblehead. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Now Colton Wong. 1 for 3 today. Fly to center, fly to right, and a single to right. Jairo Munoz at the on-deck circle. Greg Holland going in the Cardinals pen. Two appearances against the Phillies and 2 scoreless innings. The 2-1. Low and outside. Full count.
Colton Wong's done a nice job today with his at-bats. He's really calmed down his hands. Really been more under control at the plate. Seen a lot more pitches.
And he draws a walk. So here's Jairo Munoz. Check that, Jed Jerko. Last 3 hits for Jerko, all have been doubles. Nothing at 2. One and 2 the count. Two to 2.
It's one thing about when you bring in the bullpen. Game kind of comes to a screeching halt. Sometimes the guys come out of the bullpen and work a little slower than the starter does. Definitely times like this, we definitely, especially down by 6 runs with the Brewers, definitely puts the defense on its heels.
Out of play. Out of play again.
Pretty good swing by Jed right there.
The 2-2 pitch to Jed Jerko. Fly ball into right. Catch made. Wong back to the bag at first. And there's 2 away. Here's Carpenter up for the 5th time. First pitch to Carpenter. Wild pitch to the backstop. Carpenter today, couple of runs scored, walk, a single, pair of strikeouts.
I think if they ever enforced the pitch clock, that we would be pushing the envelope here today, right now. Game has come to a stop.
I always look at the infielders and really just the entire defense. Guys kind of picking at the dirt.
When everyone's standing still.
Right.
Outfielders flat-footed. Third baseman flat-footed. This is definitely not the way you want to play defense. You almost have to force yourself to move around when you're out there.
Three and 0 the count.
Everybody just standing around. I've been known to scream out of center field a few times during my career.
Who'd you yell at?
Everyone. Just yelling. Let's go, pick up the pace.
Did you ever talk to a pitcher about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Say, hey, you got to get it going.
I'm sure if right now, if I was in center fielder and I yelled, you would hear me from up here. That's how quiet it is all of a sudden.
Now time called and Kratz to visit. And it's a walk to Carpenter. So he's on base for the third time, a single, a couple of walks. And the batter will be Greg Garcia. Garcia doubled down the left field line, was robbed by Ryan Braun back into third, walked and scored and grounded out to first. And he looks at strike one. Greg made his major league debut in this ballpark back in 2014. Used to do a lot of features for Fox Sports Midwest, and one of my favorites was Garrett Stevenson, also a favorite of Tom Mead.
His celebration talk after we clinched something.
That was one of the great moments in sports television.
He wasn't lying, though. We did have a great catcher. That was live, wasn't it?
He asked me afterwards, he said, wait a minute, we're live? And I said, yeah, we're live. What difference did it make? One ball and two strikes. And the next to Greg Garcia. Puts it in play to short. A flip to second, and they get the force play. Greg Holland will come in and pitch. Last two times out, outstanding against the Phillies. He had that slider working. He's got the bottom of the seventh when we come back. Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Ford, going further so you can. And by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, guardians of childhood. Chevy called to the pen, takes us to Greg Holland. Outstanding last time out. Eric Sogard at the plate. Jed Jerko stays in the ballgame after flying out to right. And he's at third base. Lifted in the air to right field, and Fowler with a sliding catch.
Good job by Dexter right here. Not really breaking too quickly, making sure the ball is going to stay in front of him. Nice little sliding grab. More importantly, 1 out. Greg Holland.
Activated from the DL, had the right hip impingement. Came back Tuesday after missing 22 games. Our crowd this afternoon, 39,710. 39710. Shallow right and a base hit. And Thames is aboard with a 1-out base hit and a single into right field.
Missed location, but look at his pitches. How he puts this ball in play, I have no idea. Well, that doesn't shatter his bat.
Christian Yelich, solo home run back in the first. He is struck out and flied out to left. Holland's got variations of his slider. Some a little harder, others softer to give it more movement. There's the Hyundai pitch arsenal. Oh, and 2. The red-hot Cleveland Indians in town tomorrow. Corey Kluber going in game 2. He'd be worth the price of admission to watch him pitch. Guy that throws a ton of strikes, very similar to Michaelis. Boy, that's nasty right there by Holland. He's got that pitch going. Cardinals have a weapon.
Well, the whole key to any of his success too is getting strike one or getting ahead of the count, and that's just nasty. The only place that ball is going to be hit is into the dugout.
Ryan Braun, all-time Milwaukee history. First in home runs, 310. Second in RBI. Third in runs. So much talk about a potential trade of Ryan Braun that never materialized. He's seen the good and the bad here. Part of the rebuild, and now here they are back in first place. He's earning $20 million a year, so
not so bad.
Complicate things a little bit. trying to move a deal.
I was going to say, not for him.
And the 0-1 pitch to Braun. Ground ball that's hit to Colton Waugh. Greg Hollinay's scoreless 7th sends us to the 8th, and it's 8-2 Cardinals.
Lost your mind.
8-2.
Little country western music right there, the old days. Would you call that a banjo? What's that?
It's a guitar, but you got to get the banjo in it as it continues. And you'd have a really nice finish to the tune.
Really nice folk song.
Taylor Williams struck out the side yesterday, and he pitched a perfect 7th inning. You had no idea when you were playing what was going on up here, did you?
I still don't. I was trying to figure out where that little noise was coming from. I turned and looked at you, and it was coming from you.
The big blast in this game off the bat of Jose Martinez. Leads the National League with 10 3-hit games. 1 for 4 today. Home run back in the 4th. And Williams stays with it and makes the play. The batter is Marcell Ozuna. Couple of hits today for Marcell. Also an RBI, first time up. Sent one to the wall that brought in a run. Doubled back in the 4th, and also a single to right in the 6th. Here's a 1-1. And on the ground is second. 2 away. Francisco Pena will be the batter for St. Louis. Ozuna running down the line the entire time with the bat in his hand.
It's just can't explain it.
No, certainly can't. So 2 outs and nobody on. My buddy Vince, helping us out here in the booth, came up with this dandy.
I'm scared to know what you're about to say with that laugh.
Payton is 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter. Thank you, Vince. That's pretty well hit, but there's Yelich, makes the catch. Brett Cecil coming on when we come back. Turn away, Jimmy.
Turn away.
Don't look at your monitor. It's that beautiful all over print button-up shirt this Friday. And I might even add a bucket hat if you're lucky. Right there.
Just like that one guy.
You mean that one guy?
That one guy. He looked like he had a lot of fun filming that little commercial.
For fans who don't know, that Todd Thomas, who
Who's that one guy?
is a lot of the does a lot of the in-stadium announcing during games. On the back of his jersey, instead of his name, it's called That One Guy, because you see him, you go, hey, it's that one guy.
He's had that jersey for a long time.
He's done a great job over the years. There's Brett Cecil. If you're lucky, if you're nice to me, I'll throw in the bucket hat. Get up the middle. Garcia makes the play for out number 1. Cecil had a scoreless 6th inning on Wednesday, scoreless 5th on Thursday. and strikeouts in 5 of the last 7 games.
Fantastic job by Vince.
Well, that was me.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah,
We're digging for that one.
you betcha. That pitch is popped up. Martinez in foul territory looking for help. Doesn't need it. Makes the catch and a nice play. Right below us, a Bob Uecker number 8 jersey being worn by a fan. Bob, the longtime voice, Milwaukee Brewers.
I was trying to figure out if that was a Boston Red Sox jersey. It's got to be.
It's a Braves jersey.
A Braves jersey.
There he is.
He's the man. Just a bit outside.
He's hysterical. Beloved here in Milwaukee, part of the '64 championship team of the Cardinals. A few years ago, Mike Shannon actually brought in a tuba to the TV booth. Famous story of Bob shagging fly balls for the '64 series with a tuba.
It had to slow him down a little bit.
Bob telling me he will be in Cooperstown. This is his longtime broadcast partner on the national level. Bob Costas goes into the Hall of Fame. And tomorrow night, it's Bob Costas night at the ballpark. Cecil trying to make it a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th. Cardinals got very good pitching. The starter Luke Weaver. Myers came in, got an out, scoreless inning by Holland, and now Cecil trying to make this a scoreless bottom of the 8th. Two balls and 2 strikes. Brewers will have an off day tomorrow, and then they'll host Kansas City for the first of 2 Tuesday night. Next off day for the Cardinals will be Thursday after the Indian series and before the Atlanta Braves come to St. Louis. Little bit low, not by much. Strikeout for Cecil. That ends the 8th in an 8-2 game in the Bob Uecker statue outside Miller Park. plays of the game. 8 runs on 10 hits, 5 extra base hits. And the Cardinals receiving 7 walks today, 5 of those issued by their starter, Gesine. Corey Knebel is into the ball game for Milwaukee. Maybe needs a little work. His club trailing 8-2. Pitched on Friday night, our Chevy called to the pen. Perfect 9th inning. Then the Brewers walked it off, so he picked up a win. Dexter Fowler on base 3 times today. Pair of doubles and a walk. First pitch is strike. Oh, 2.
Just thinking after those first 2 pitches, got to be tougher to see now with all that bright backdrop. It's crazy.
Here's a 1-2. Strikeout of Fowler. Harrison Bader, the batter.
Fowler walking back to the dugout. Tell Bader good luck.
We got a really good right-handed pitcher into the ball game, and then that backdrop that you're talking about there.
Not fun.
Inside at 99 miles an hour from Knebel. Two and 0. Two-one pitch to Bader. 2-2. You just joined us. The Cardinals picked up a run in the first, 5 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 10 hits, 8 runs, and an 8-2 lead. I think where the feeling around the club was just a couple of games ago. 2 wins that can change in a hurry. Full count. Bader on base 3 times today. Pair of singles, 2 runs scored, a walk. Got the start in center field. Just missed on the outside corner. And a 1-out walk. The second baseman, Colton Wong. Defensive run saves. Saved is a measure. Number of runs a player saved or cost his team. And right now, Wong leads second baseman in that category. So despite the struggles at the plate, it's been a tough year for him thus far. Cardinals been very pleased with his defense, and they should be. It's been very good. Only one of 7 players in the National League 10+ defensive run save at any position. And the 1-1 to Colton Wong. Pretty nasty there by Knebel.
It's a really good breaking ball.
Such a tough game, and then trying to do it at this level, both offensively and defensively. I would imagine very tough not to take the good and the bad to either side. As Wong struggles offensively, does have a base hit into right, but yet thrives defensively. That's to his credit.
Oh, yep, you're right. Like I said, it's effort. You know, it's all about how much effort you want to put to your defense. See how good you want to be and how much you want to pay attention to the game during the game. Just nasty breaking ball right there.
Yep.
Shadows aren't helping, and neither is the fact that he's throwing 98 miles an hour. That's that breaking ball straight down. Knuckle curveball.
Oh, 2 on Jed Jerko. John Brebbia looks like he'll have the bottom of the 9th. And an 0-2 pitch. That is just filthy. Cardinals outstanding John Gant. We know about Jordan Hicks in tight spots. Austin Gomber, that key double play. Yesterday, Bud Norris the save. And today, Mike Myers, Brett Cecil. Talked about Holland. Adds up to a good bullpen. The 4 games against Milwaukee. Here's John Brebbia and a slider and a strike. There's Chevy Cole to the pen. Erik Kratz at the plate, line to right, struck out and also singled. About midway through the season, and John Brebbia has got that beard working. It's hard to recognize him in spring training. He's clean shaven.
Some kind of beard.
He could look like a guy that would be an extra Game of Thrones. Put him in the middle of that, fit right in. The 2-2 pitch and a strikeout.
Pretty good location right there by Brebbia.
Pena will be the pinch hitter. Brebbia earned his first major league win, his 70th appearance just over a week ago, Sunday night against Chicago. From independent ball to the big leagues. 1-0 pitch. One and two, pumping strikes. Name of the game. And the 1-2 pitch, up and in. Also like the pace of Brebbia. Comes in, he's got that quick pace. Always, it seems like, around the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Kind of helps when you throw 96 with a good slider. Ball looks like it is jumping out of his hand right here.
Eric Sogard with 2 outs and an 8-2 St. Louis lead. So the Cardinals will come into Milwaukee and earn a split. With the way that the season series has gone with Milwaukee, you'll take the split. The way that this series started. Go on the road, you play 500, you try to take care of business at home. It could have been 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 3 in Philly. Hard to believe, but the last time in Milwaukee for the Cardinals this year. This is it. Won't be at Miller Park until potentially the playoffs or next year.
You're going to make me cry, Dan.
I know it's emotional for you to go back to this city. Last time seeing Vince. The 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Full count on Sogard. The 3-2 pitch. And it's hit out of play. Cardinals looking at win number 40. 1 strike away. They would go to 40 and 36. 3-2. In the air. Into right field. Who wants it? It's Dexter Fowler. He makes the catch. The Cardinals get a split in Milwaukee. 8-2 the final on this Sunday afternoon. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live is coming up next with Scott Warman and Al Raboski. Back home tomorrow.